Alright, panels is the tab of Vuhdo that most people go, oh boy, this is going to take forever. But panels is really just a ton of different customization options. So don't get overwhelmed about it. It's not that bad. So the very first one is just general. You can pick how you want to align. Let me give you, I'll go in and set up so it shows a little better. Okay, I have it set up now to show like if I was in a 25 man. So right now I have it set up where it shows my groups horizontally. Woo, but you can uncheck that and it will show groups vertically if you're a vertical person. I myself am a horizontal person. You can also have yourself shown first and or at the bottom. You can also sort, there's tons of different options. You can sort everybody by class, by name, who has the most health. Generally I go by unit ID because I want to know who's in what group. You can also customize this is panel 1. This whole panel is just one panel I've put all of these groups into. You can customize the background and the border and such as well. Sizing is pretty self-explanatory, excuse me there. You can obviously make the bars thicker or wider depending on how you do it. You can change how big the gap is at the top and side of the whole entire panel. You definitely want to leave a little bit of space because that's how you're going to grab Vuhdo and move it around. And if you don't have that space, you tend to click on bars and it won't move with the bar. X and Y spacing here just determines the gap between each individual person or unit. I generally cram them together, but some people like a little bit of space. And then the panel scale just scales how big everything's going to be or small. Itty bitty tiny. You just customize how it looks nice in your UI or what works for you, because some people have a hard time seeing on a tiny little screen. Right, and we go down to bars. You can change obviously the texture. So let's say I like everything sort of flat looking, but you can change it to look tons of different skin options here. You can make it look like a Blizzard character bar and all that fun stuff, but I like mine on flat. You can obviously change the mana bar height and a bunch of different widths and stuff too. Headers I have disabled. Headers just it'll label it like panel 1 or raid 1 or something. I generally don't have things labeled just because I know what everything's there or what it already is, so I don't need a header. If you have special target frames, like target of target or target frames, this is where you would customize those. And then tooltips, I'll turn that on just to show what tooltips look like. Alright, tooltips, you can see the tooltip, move this other way, it's right here. You can have it show, so when you hover your mouse over a certain raid member, the tooltip will change and it'll tell you just basic information about them. I like it, sometimes helps me see what their life and mana is at if I'm Snoopy. And you can make it so it shows during fights, otherwise it'll turn off during fights so it's not like blocking anything. I generally just turn it off because I don't really care for it, but if you like it you can change the background and the border and move it around to different positions. Let me quick show you. So there, you can make it move and that's where it'll pop up and hover. When you move your mouse off it goes away. It's just up here now to show you how to change it. I don't want it. So then next on the panels is text. Obviously you can customize the text of how it labels your character and the health that it has. Just give me a moment. My bars aren't the size that they're supposed to be. Okay, there we go. So you can also add to say class text, but if you color the bars by class you don't really need that. You can turn off the name if you don't want to know their name too and stuff. So a bunch of fun things. You can move the text position, and if you don't want percent you can turn off how much health they have, or you can have it go to how much actual life they have too, which can be handy in fights like Chimeron where you might want to know if they're at 10k or 15k. I have it at percent just because I'm so used to Vuhdo now that I just go by percentages. Okay, now we're to my favorite part of Vuhdo, the hot icons. Vuhdo is really fun in that you can set it up to obviously show hots and things, but my favorite part about it is you can have it show the actual icon of the spell you're using. So yes, if you just want to use dots and stuff, you can have it set up where a tiny blue glossy square means that you've put a power word shield on somebody, and like a triangle means you've put on renew or something. But I have it showing the actual icons. So it shows Right now you can see it. I have it showing when I put Renew on people, Prayer of Mending, and Power Word Shield, and Abolish Disease. It just helps me keep track of it. It also has a timer, so that when it gets under 10 seconds, it'll start counting down how much time is left on it. And you can do triangles and stuff for that. I just turn on to text because then it actually puts the actual number. And let me give you just a quick demonstration. So, bubbling myself, you can see that the bubble icon right here pops up. And my favorite thing is I have it so that it shows Weakened Soul. And it will count down the Weakened Soul effect. And then once Weakened Soul is removed, it'll just show the shield, as long as the shield's still on that character. Just really handy for priests, and you can set up for other classes to be handy just in case you have to keep something like Life Bloom or Power Word Shield on a tank or rolling on a certain character. Another thing is you can click to show other people's hots and stuff as well, if you really care to keep track of some other people's hots. The only thing I do for my priest specifically is keep Prayer of Mending and Power Word Shields of other people shown, just because I don't want to try to shield a target that somebody else has already shielded, and Prayer of Mending, I don't want to override somebody else's Prayer of Mending. It's just little handy things there. And obviously you can modify the size of the icons and how they, what positions they appear and all that jazz. And then miscellaneous, you can determine where raid icons appear on Vuhdo. I right now have it in the middle because nothing tends to pop up there, so it's not blocking anything. And then I have overheal text showing. You can determine what overheal text looks like, where it shows up and all that on your health bar to help you out with that. Colors is also very explanatory. I just go with the Vuhdo custom settings as far as the colors for Poison, Disease, Curse, and Magic and custom goes. It'll just color the entire bar in text like that. If you only want it to show the bar color, you can uncheck text and then it'll go back to the normal color. And you can obviously do it where it colors the text only. I have it coloring both just because it's easier to see. And then of course if somebody's offline or dead, you can change how your bar looks when that happens. You can change the color of the power bars, so for like mana and rage and such. And then if you don't like hot icons, you can always have the bars show what hots, who has what hots by color. The only problem is if you have Renew and a Prayer Mending on someone, it's not going to show either of those colors. So it's just something I prefer icons, but some people like colors. Just go with what you like. And of course, you can change what colors the classes look. If you think Paladins should be red, you can change Paladins to look red. Death Knights will be unhappy with you, but who cares about Death Knights? So you can have fun with that if you so wish to. And then of course you can have bars colored based on who has what raid icon. I have it disabled because I can see the raid icon. I don't need the bar to be that color, but if you need that little extra help, then you can go ahead and do that. Tools I'm not going to go into. Pretty much tools, you can set up different profiles depending on how big your group size is and such like that. It's just something you can goof around on your own if you're interested. And then lastly, there's the Move tab. The Move tab, when you first get Vuhdo, there'll be like a tank and assistant tanks and stuff tabs. You can come into Move tab and just, here, I'll add an example. So let's say you have this special tab for main tanks. You'll go into Move and it'll open up like this. You can just exit and say yeah, X, and it'll just get rid of it. I have all, as you can see, I have all my groups under one panel, but you can drag them out and put them under. You can drag them out and put them on their own panel if you want. You have to hit add though in order to drag it, so like that. But it's pretty easy, just like that. I'll give you one little example. So let's say there's a hunter who is really lazy and doesn't want to heal his pet, and you're feeling extra generous that day. So you can go in and hit add and hit plus, and then you pick what type of group you want. So pets are under special. You can change it however. You click OK, and that's going to be your pet tab. If you don't want a whole special new panel for it, because you can see it makes its whole new giant panel, you can just drag it. Here we go. Okay. You can just drag it into this panel, and then it'll just be under that panel. It sort of messes it up, so you have to go and reconfigure each panel to look however you want it, because it's, like I said, Vuhdo is very customizable. But that's just how you do that. So there you go. A really quick and dirty explanation of Vuhdo. If you have any, like I said, if you have any questions about anything specific or want me to go into more detail about, feel free to shoot me a message and I'll try to answer it for you. Otherwise, have fun with Vuhdo.